going on, everybody? Welcome to the RBS Cinema Podcast.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
This is Sparta! I'm thinking I'm back.
Why so serious?
Avengers!
Assemble. I'm Batman.
You better lawyer up, asshole. Because I'm not coming back for 30%. I'm coming back for everything.
I'll be back.
You shall not pass!
RBS.
Lovely.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of RBS Cinema. This week's episode, we are talking about Max Payne from 2008. I'm your host, Devin. With me, as always, is co-host Jack.
I'm still Jack.
And boy, howdy, do we got a movie in store for us today.
So, if you're tuning in with us, this is our third week of, well, technically, second week of calendar of September, but our third week of doing Video Game Movie Month, which is our theme for September. So, previously on our last episode, we did Doom.
2005.
I almost forgot what we did because it was so forgettable.
I know.
And then,
so boring. If you guys want to check that out, you can. It was a pretty boring episode, so.
Hopefully Devin made it at least a little bit entertaining to listen to.
I did. Actually, every time that we said Simplify, I would add in the clip of The Rock saying, Simplify, motherfucker.
Semper Fi, motherfucker.
So,
Simplify, yeah.
it was great. It was a great time. But yes, this week we're talking about Max Payne. Going to continue the train of Video Game Movie Month. We got one more left, and that'll be for your birthday. Actually.
Yeah, and I'm so looking forward to it. I'm very excited.
Sounds so excited to talk about this movie.
I am thrilled.
We'll keep you guys in suspense. So.
Yep.
But I'm excited for the next few months because we got October, which will sometime be the 1 year anniversary of the podcast. So stay tuned for that in the next few weeks for October. And then November, we already got it lined up. Just don't have anything lined up for December. December is my birthday because it'll be Christmas. I just don't know what we'll actually talk about for my birthday movie. So we'll have to wait and see. So, but anyhow, do we want to jump right into the movie? Well, let me ask. Because, like, I've played at least one of the Max Payne games. Have you played any of the games?
I haven't played any of the games.
Okay.
I have not even seen footage of the games.
I've seen a little bit of bits and pieces of, like, the first game, but it was more like, of course, it's more like an action adventure or action conspiracy crime game. Kind of like the movie where it's like you're trying to do detective work and stuff.
Yeah, because
only it's not as linear as the movie is. So
yeah, so we go from Space Marines to New York City cop.
Yeah,
on drugs
in 2008.
So
back in time, if you will. For
fans of Max Payne, for the most part, you're going to get a review of this movie that is mostly unbiased in terms of like the original Max Payne games, because this is supposed to be an adaptation. Yeah. But right off the bat, reviews for this movie are not favorable.
No,
they are not. They are not glowing. Which I did not go into this with high expectations because of that. Because oftentimes, like when we have to look up a movie, I have to actually search for it, and so when searching for it, I always get the chance to see what the Rotten Tomatoes score is and what IMDb says about it. So I am spoiled a little bit there, but I'm actually very surprised about this movie that it wasn't as bad as I thought, as the reviews made out to be.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be, just like very boring, like kind of how Doom was. I was not watching this movie after watching Doom was certainly a breath of fresh air, I'll say.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of things to like about this film. But for the most part, you're going to see us review this film, and I'm not going to know pretty much anything about the Max Payne series other than what's presented in the film. So if this movie contradicts key plot points in the games or like key characteristics of the characters in some of the games, I will have no idea because I didn't play any of the games. So
I don't think it does, because obviously this is supposed to be based off of the first game. The only thing I know about the first game is that he's trying to look for the killer of his wife and child.
yeah,
Which he really doesn't do in this movie all that much. Like,
maybe
he only like unearths some things that are based about his wife in this movie, but otherwise he doesn't really try to track down the killer of his wife.
It's implied that he was doing that before the events of the movie,
Right.
Like in the 3 years that it's been since they got killed, that he's been stuck in cold case files, and he's probably been using whatever free time he has to be able to look up like what's going on. So
Yeah. Which obviously you're probably not aware of this, but because I'm looking at it right here, there are apparently 2 other Max Payne movies.
yeah,
So-
you were telling me about that.
Yeah, because there is, which I'm looking at, Max Payne Retribution and Max Payne Perdition, or Perdition.
Perdition. Yeah.
Which Perdition came out this year, evidently.
Really?
2025. Yeah, I
Was
was
it
looking.
like straight to DVD or straight to streaming? Because
I would
didn't hear
assume.
anything
Well,
about
it's
it.
only like an hour and 9 minutes, so I'd assume
Ooh, okay.
it's kind of like a short film. I feel like.
Who plays Max Payne? Anybody significant?
No, his name is Daniel D. Lopez. For this one, at least. And then in Retribution, came out 2017, and that one is Joan James Morixie.
Who?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
exactly.
That tells me all I need to know about like how successful these 2 movies were.
Oh, actually, there's like more than just like the 2 Max Payne movies.
There's a whole Max Payne verse.
Apparently, my God, there's the killer. The killer was smiling. Which
Are you sure that this wasn't like just like miniseries or something like that? Because like there's no way that there's this many.
Yeah,
films.
there's this one that's like 15 minutes long, so it's probably it's like a short film.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's technically not a movie. There's also Max Payne Home, which again is only 15 minutes long, so it's like a short.
Yeah, probably just a bunch
story.
of collection of like short movies or like little snippets to like for people
Just to
who
keep
like,
up the.
like Max Payne, I guess. I haven't heard very much about Max Payne at all. Like after Max Payne 3, I feel like nothing else really came out.
Nope, not really, because that was like the last game of the series.
Yeah, so
which I played. The only one that I played was Max Payne 3, which we have bald and bearded Max Payne that wears Hawaiian shirts in because he's retired, but then gets pulled out, quote unquote, gets pulled out of retirement. But he basically just gets himself into trouble because he goes like, well, there's some shit that's going down, so I kind of have to like put myself in the middle of it because now I'm being dragged into this type of thing. So, but I don't know.
Anyway, let's talk about this film, shall we?
Yeah. So, starting off, before we start into it, thank you everybody so much for tuning in, watching, listening, how you guys are doing it. Really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section below about if you have seen Max Payne or if you really like the series or if you played any of the games. Let us know. Also, if you guys have a movie suggestion, leave it in the comments below, whether it's a new movie, old movie, a movie that you really like, a movie that you guys want us to talk about. So let us know about that as well. Be sure to share the podcast to anybody that's interested in movie reviews or just a couple of guys talking about movies. So without further ado, let's talk about Max Payne. A pain of a movie. Movie bare bones of what it is about coming together to solve a series of murders in New York City are a police detective and an assassin who will be hunted by the police, the mob, and a ruthless corporation. I don't know if they were actually like being hunted by the mob. Like that doesn't not specifically a mob, but a mob of people, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe a couple of criminals, but I wouldn't exactly call that the mob.
No, because like Mila Kunis is a part of a mob type thing, I feel like. And for that, like, they weren't after him specifically. Up until a certain point, they were, because her sister gets killed, and they are led to believe that he's the one that killed them or killed her, but he didn't. So he was being set up that way. Mm-hmm. But after them talking and stuff, they partner up to find her killer and find out who it is and whatever. So, but we got director John Moore, we got writers Bo Thorne and Sam Lake. So, don't know what any of these guys have done. Let's see. John Moore did Flight of the Phoenix, The Omen, and Behind Enemy Lines.
So nothing really of note.
No, not really. I've heard The Omen. I actually wanted to watch that, but it was free on Hulu, but it's no longer on there anymore. Like, all of the Omen movies were on there because there was the new Omen movie that came out last year that was on there. And they added all of the Omen movies, and since then, they've all been taken off. Mm-hmm. So, Behind Enemy Lines, I knew about. I've heard stuff and things. Flight of the Phoenix, I barely remember hearing anything about that, but I don't know. Any horror. Let's see. Got the cast here. So we got Mark Wahlberg, who plays as Max Payne. Got Mila Kunis, who's playing as Mona Sachs. This is fitting. Beau Bridges is BB Hensley. I'm like, so his name is just Beau Bridges Hensley? I don't know.
Maybe.
We got the top dog, Ludacris, in this movie, who plays as Jim Bravura, I think. Chris O'Donnell, Old Robin himself, plays as Jason Colvin. Got Donald Logue, I think that's how you pronounce his character's name. That's how you pronounce his name, is Alex Balder, who was Max Payne's old partner.
Oh, yeah.
And then just got a couple more. Got Amaury Nolasco, who plays as Jack Lupino, who, if you remember, last time we saw him was in Transformers, because he was part of Tyrese Gibson's and Josh Duhamel's team of
that's
soldiers.
right.
So, and then
he looked familiar. I was wondering where he was from.
Yeah. So that was the last thing that we saw him in. So, last we got Kate Burton, who is Nicole Horn. So,
Alex, the guy who plays Alex is very familiar. I don't remember where he was from, but like he's been in a movie that I've seen before. I forget what it was exactly.
He was in Gotham. He played as Harvey, or not Harvey. He's also in Blade. Duh. So, I'm trying to remember who he played as in.
He was in Zodiac. Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I know him from. Okay.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, like, he's a pretty good actor. I really enjoy his stuff.
So if we could talk about the cast for a little bit, when you told me that Max Payne starring Mark Wahlberg, to be honest, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, Mark Wahlberg.
The image of Mark Wahlberg, like, there's three movies that stick out to me as like, okay, what kind of actor is Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah,
and it's The Other Guys, Ted, which by the way also has Mila Kunis in it.
Does.
So that's really weird. That 4 years later they do like a different style of movie that.
But she wasn't in the second one.
And then the Transformers, like the last 4, 3. 5, and 6, which were really, really bad. He played as Kate Yeager, and he was not good. In that.
Nope.
So I rolled my eyes. I was like, oh man, Mark Wahlberg.
Yep.
But then I remember he was in the Bourne. He was in the Bourne Identity, or he was in the Bourne Jason Bourne films. He was in the fourth one. Yeah. So
what did he play as?
Jason Bourne.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, pretty sure he did.
That's Matt Damon.
Are you sure? No. So Matt Damon was in the first three, and then they made a fourth one, and then they starred Mark Wahlberg as.
No, that's Jeremy Renner.
Is that Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like the side character like wasn't Matt Damon, Jason Bourne movie, but it was like
Oh my, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
Jeremy
It
Renner.
was Jeremy Renner.
I was all like, there's technically four
What am I thinking
Jason
of then?
Bourne movies.
He was in another movie that like there was a movie that he was in that he was good in, but like the ones that I think of are one of his worst movies.
I'm trying to think of, because there's Mile 22, there's Contraband, which are both actually pretty decent that I remember. What was it? No, I don't remember.
Well, while you look at that, I'll finish my thought. Where it's like, I originally saw Mark Wahlberg in this film, and I had low expectations. He did a really good job in this film.
The Departed.
Okay.
That's one of the movies I was thinking of.
Like to give Mark Wahlberg his props, he did a pretty convincing, gruff detective stricken by grief. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the opening monologue in the very first scene of the film was very like low and resonant.
Yeah.
Which is not what I was expecting. I was expecting him to be sort of like, again, I don't know too much about Max Payne, like the character. I don't know what type of personality he had before I went into this film. But you know, like I just can't get the image out of my mind of Mark Wahlberg as Kate Yeager, and he's just like an imbecile.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like sarcastic. Like there's one time where he like threatened to like enslave like one of his employees, like at the beginning of Transformers 4. If you don't remember that.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very strange. But he did do a very good job at portraying the character. I didn't really have any problems with his performance in this one.
No. Okay, so some of the movies that he was in that you might remember was Planet of the Apes that he did with
Oh yeah, the really old one. Okay.
Yeah. Well, not the super old one, back in 2001.
Yes.
Where they try to remake it. The Italian Job. Four Brothers. Invincible. Already mentioned The Departed. Shooter. He was also Lone Survivor.
Oh yeah, he was. Oh yeah, I can't believe I forgot about Invincible.
Yeah.
Invincible's a great movie.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I was like, that's the other one that I was thinking of that he was really good in.
Yeah,
so.
a sports movie.
Okay.
The Happening, of course. Can't forget about The Happening. A lot was happening in The Happening. Oh yeah, that's right. He was in Pain and Gain, which is actually a pretty good movie. I really liked that one.
Mm-hmm.
Two Guns was another one that I really liked and enjoyed. So yeah.
Patriots Day. Okay, he was in that one.
Yeah, played as another cop.
That was about the marathon mobbing. So.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Anywho.
just to give a little bit of props to Mark Wahlberg for his performance in this film, because I thought he was good. I liked him in this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't really have any problem with him.
He didn't give off the performance that he did in The Happening, where they go to a house and it's an old lady's house, and so he's talking to the house plant. Turns out that it's plastic. Because do you know what happens in The Happening?
No.
Okay, so the big twist of the movie is that there's plants that are basically killing people.
Yeah.
Or having them basically. And they are trying to figure out a way to like have it stop. And so I think if I remember in this point of the movie, they figure out that it is the plants that are basically doing this. Because like they're releasing a pollen or a toxin or something that rewires your brain to basically have you like not be in control of yourself.
Yeah.
And so like just a lot of people just like basically unaliving themselves, and it's crazy. But they go to this house with this old lady in it, and she's upstairs. She goes like, "Oh, you guys aren't gonna basically like kill me in my sleep, are you?" And he goes like, "What? No."
Planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
Oh, that.
Why would we do that?
That's where
that
from?
was. Yeah, that's a meme that was going on.
Okay.
So that's where that came from.
Okay,
So,
I was about to say that's probably that's from something. I didn't know it was from that. Okay.
yeah. So that was pretty dumb. But are we ready to actually dive into this movie?
Yes.
Cool. So, one of the things that I actually liked about this movie was like just the intro of the narration of him going like, I don't believe in heaven. I believe in pain. I believe in fear. I believe in death. And it's like, okay, that's actually a pretty good quote. I enjoyed that one. And then like, especially at the end where he goes like, oh, I don't believe in angels, but I believe in whatever. And then it's like his wife and son. And every time that he goes to actually like die and he pictures himself being in the room with his wife and child, she just goes like, it's not yet.
Yeah,
Max.
that trope.
Not yet. And then then it just comes back to him being like there. And so it's all like, what? That doesn't make any sense. We have another movie where we're beginning with the ending.
Yeah.
So
but to be fair, John Wick does that too.
Well, yeah. But
John Wick,
but this
the first
is like
John Wick does that as well.
This is like the third movie that we've done, as far as I can remember. The third movie that we've done where it starts at the end, because last one that I remember is Sonic that we did recently.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
which is another video game movie we didn't do for this month, but be sure to check that out. That one's pretty good. But I just thought it was really odd because like I watched it twice. I watched it back-to-back days, and first time I was like, okay, it's been a little while since I've seen it, so like I'll rewatch it for entertainment. And then second time, it's like, okay, since I've already seen this, I'll just jot down my notes about what happens. But I jotted that down. I was like, oh yeah, this is another movie that we're doing where it starts at the end. And so it's like 1 week earlier, because like he starts talking about how he's at the bottom of a frozen lake, and he just goes like, yeah, there's a bunch of gangsters, like dead gangsters down here, and they're gonna find me at the bottom of it too, just like the rest of these yahoos, and they're gonna think that I'm also a drug dealer or whatever. And it's all like,
oh my god,
okay, whatever. And then it takes us back to 1 week earlier, where nothing really happens of note. So
I like before we get any further, one more thing that I want to give this movie its props for. It's very cinematic. There's a lot of really cool shots, and they do a lot of cool things with lighting.
Yeah.
In this film.
100%.
So, and like instead of it being like 1 week later as text on the screen, it's sort of like
on the building itself,
and you can see the shadows of the letters as it pans down.
Yeah.
So here we are, another cop movie in New York City, but this time it's snowing and raining. And it looks gross outside.
I know. I had that written down too. I'm like, it's constantly snowing and raining throughout this movie. There's only a few times where it's not doing anything, and it's like, I get it. It's the wintertime, you know. It snows a lot. That's fine. But why is it downpouring rain though?
Because I think it's at that point
New York
where
City, so it's got to rain at some point. Like,
well,
but downpouring rain.
You
though?
joke, but like it is kind of right on the coast, right? So it's like it's kind of that sort of temperate thing where maybe it's not like freezing cold, but at the same like we're at the point where it's like just teetering on like below freezing. Yeah. I believe that. And I think that it's like that just to set up like it's sort of a miserable sort of
city
like vibe of the movie that it's going for. That like it's not like
I know that in like
rainbows.
Most like cop or detective or noir movies, where it's all like it rains a lot, and especially where it's like in Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse, where it's like Spider-Man Noir, where he constantly goes like, what was it? I think that Miles or Peters says that like, oh, it smells like rain in here, and he goes like, wherever I go, the rain follows, or something like that. So
I don't mind that. I don't mind that too much.
I just found it to be annoying. I'm like, it can't be snowing 1 minute and then downpouring rain the next, because like, what should happen more specifically is that if it's cold enough to snow, it's cold enough to hail. Like, because like even for us being in the Midwest, like it rains sometime in the wintertime.
I've definitely seen it rain when there's snow on the ground, because maybe it snowed a couple of days earlier and then it got a little bit warmer, but it's still like high humidity, so it caused more more time for precipitation. I don't really have a problem with that.
Right, but I don't know. It's my nitpick of the movie. I just found it to be annoying. So
That's one of your nitpicks. Okay.
one of the many.
Devin told me he had a couple of nitpicks about this movie,
Yeah,
so that's
so
one of them.
That's one of them. But we'll continue on with the fact that we have the 3 junkies in the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
Where he goes into the, like, this is what I thought was dumb, was that, like, it just, like, he's setting up, like, his guns. His guns are laid out on a table, and he's, like, putting ammo in them and stuff. And then he's standing in front of the camera. He's just standing there. And then he starts walking after a second of him standing in front of the camera. I'm like, wouldn't you just have him walking? Like, did he have to just stand there in the subway, like, and then walk to the bathroom? Like, wouldn't he be already walking towards the bathroom instead of just standing there like an idiot? So I just thought that was pretty dumb. But, like, he walks past these 3 junkies, and he just makes his way to the men's room, and so, like, they all follow him in there. And
I like how all 3 of them are like a different kind of junkie.
Yeah.
So like you have the one on
who's like actually tweaking out.
Yeah, and the other one has a hoodie pulled over his head. He's
also got a giant coat on.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
The one in the middle is just like he looks super tough.
He's kind of more like a gangster rather than a junkie.
So
and the gangster guy, he's just like, oh, like, that's a nice watch you got there. Like, it reminds me of the one I lost. And then Max just instantly goes like, oh, you didn't lose it. Actually, you pawned it off over at this pawn shop over on this street. And they're like, what, are you watching us? And he goes like, nope, actually, I'm here for him. And goes to, like, the actual junkie guy. And he goes like, fuck that. And he pulls out his gun and he goes like, are you a cop? And he goes like, pulls out his badge. He goes
Yep,
not
like-
tonight.
You a cop or something?
Not tonight.
Not
Puts
tonight.
it away. And he just goes like, oh, okay. I'm like, doesn't matter if, like, you can be off duty, but you could still do something if you're a cop, though. Like, the laws still affect you whether or not that you're a cop.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't just straight up be killing people. But I mean, like, he doesn't kill them in defense, but I do like the fact that sorry, my cat's over there doing stuff, I guess. But like he the junkie goes to grab the watch and it falls.
Yeah.
And then like for a split second it's like bullet time.
Yeah.
And so like the guy that is holding Max at gunpoint like looks over, and I'm like, you have him right there. Why are you going to look away?
Yeah.
But all just to flex on the fact that Max grabs him by the wrist, twists it, and then has him shoot the gun.
The glass, yeah.
Yeah,
The window,
and then
like
he throws it
mirror.
in the sink, which is very hot water, by the way. I've never seen a sink that has that hot of water to where you could see the steam coming out.
I don't know. Some sinks have like.
Super.
Also,
super.
it could just be really, really cold.
Yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, I guess so.
it is the subway in
Yeah.
New York, so
Because like when that happens, one of the junkies runs out, the one with the hood. The other one dives underneath the bathroom stalls.
So what's really funny is like, so the gangster guy has the gun, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty
And
small
it's a
revolver.
6-shooter. Yeah.
And then Max Payne pulls out the biggest revolver.
Yeah, I was like, he has a cannon for a gun.
Like that easily shoots like 45 caliber.
Right.
Right.
And he's shooting at every single one of the stall locks.
Like he just.
And so that way it emphasizes, like, one, it's a really powerful handgun, so it just blasts the door open. And the guy is just crawling underneath all of the stalls. He
Yeah.
goes into the last stall, he grabs him, and he just goes like, hey, I'm trying to look for this person. And so he's just like, keeps repeating about something about wings.
Yeah.
And talking
Like-
about how, like, oh, this person actually died. And he goes like,
Their wings
no.
weren't black; they were gold.
Yeah.
Or something
And he
like
just
that.
goes like, no, he got shot at a convenience store because he was trying to rob the place. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. What does he mean?
So, but yeah, and then like there's that whole thing. But then the third guy ends up like getting hit by the train because there's these shadows of these angels coming around, and he starts freaking out, and then he gets hit by the train.
Which is the
So-
first warning sign in my brain about where this movie is going, because alarm bells are starting to go off. It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
There's like shadows on the walls, and they're like wings,
Supernatural.
and they're like super big wings. And I was like, is Max Payne supernatural? And I'm like, I don't remember it being like that.
Yeah,
because
stuff
I know about it is like, but yeah, the guy just gets hit by a freaking train. Like, why did he think it? I mean, he was probably on drugs. Like,
well,
like,
yeah, probably.
He just like the guy runs through the train track and he just gets hit.
Yeah.
So
and my biggest thing too about this movie is that because like I remember watching this like younger and stuff, but like the only thing I remembered was like the angels, Max Payne shooting people, and like the fact that he was in an office building, like towards the end of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like he's in the office building, he kneels down, and then the roof just falls apart, and then it looks like it's hell.
Yeah.
And like all these angels were basically coming to get him. I'm like, that's the only thing I remember from this movie when I first saw it.
See, for me, we'll talk about it. We'll get to that point eventually, but like there is definitely a point in this movie where there is a bunch of setup and then it just falls apart.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like I liked where the movie was going. I thought I was really compelled up until a point.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is ridiculous. What's going on right now?
Yeah.
So we'll get to that when we get to that. But like, yeah, he faces off with these three junkies, and then like one of them dies, and then he doesn't get. He doesn't. Does he get any information from the guy who was in the bathroom?
No.
No,
he just goes back to what's his face's apartment that
Yeah.
he's having this party and stuff, where conveniently we meet Mila Kunis because like her sister is talking to Max,
Natasha.
Yeah, Natasha, and pretty much like she's trying to like pick him up or whatever.
Yeah.
And she is just like talking with him and whatever, and then Mila Kunis comes over and starts talking to her in Russian. This is the only time she actually talks Russian. I think this is the only time that she actually talks Russian throughout the whole movie.
And then she doesn't like, she talks in like very fluent Russian.
Yeah.
And then Mila Kunis does not really have a Russian accent,
No.
which I found very strange.
Yeah, plus the other thing too is like I think that she speaks maybe Japanese at some point.
I know
she's like trying to make a deal happen later on. So like I don't know, because she's not speaking Russian, but there's other guys that are like a part of her like gangster squad that are speaking Russian. So
Yeah, I don't know. So very weird.
But yeah, and so like that was the thing that I noted was like, okay, she speaks Russian in this specific scene, but doesn't speak Russian throughout the course of the movie, which is fine. But she doesn't speak Russian at any other point. Like,
well, I mean, she's probably just talking to her sister, so
probably. But yeah, and then he goes to find Natasha because she walks away at some point in their conversation, and he's trying to look for her, and we find her taking this drug, which is called Valkyrie, which is a blue liquid in a vial.
Yeah.
And
well, we find later that it's called Valkyrie.
No, it says it on the label.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, and even when the three junkies are in the subway, it like the main junkie guy, he drops the vial, and it says Valkyrie. Like
I didn't look.
And it was
very
like it was like
the name
it was
of the
a split second shot of it too.
So again, that's another. If I had known that, then at that point I would have been like, okay, what is this? What's going on here?
Yeah, and then like the other thing that I also saw was like there's a bunch of like blue powder next to like all of these different vials, and like we also see that too later on when Max goes to the warehouse too.
Yeah.
In the movie, and it's all like, okay, so are they just like watering down this blue powder to make it?
Maybe you need to have water to turn it into the serum.
Right. That's maybe
the drug is the powder, and then
they synthesize it with water or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, or they make it more potent or something. I don't know, because like it didn't make any sense, because like obviously with like Coke, you can like obviously it's a powder and you can do lines and stuff, but even for that scene specifically, there weren't any lines or anything. So why was there just like a clump of powder on the freaking table next to it?
I don't know.
That didn't make any sense to me.
I just sort of glossed over. It's like,
it's blue drugs, whatever.
Drugs, whatever.
It's blue Coke.
I saw drugs and it was like, okay, that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
So Max looks into this room and he sees a bunch of people like doing drugs and stuff, and then
we meet Lupino, who's just right behind him.
Yeah, is just staring at him the whole time, and then Natasha comes up, saves him, and then they get out of there.
Right. Goes back to his place. She wants to have sex with him. And he's just like, nah, I'm not fucking with you. And
no, specifically, she's like,
well, because she specifically like says that like, oh,
it's really fucked up.
Yeah, because she goes like, because she doesn't know him or his backstory or anything like that, but she just goes like, oh, like what is it like? What, like, you know, where's the sad story at? Like,
what's the name of the girl that put you in such a sad state of affairs?
Right. And so she was all like, well, you can call me by her name and I'll treat you like she did before. And then he gets pissed off and he goes like, nope, get your shit. You got to leave now. I'm pissed off. Like, now you need to leave. It's only because, like, you know, it's his dead wife. So,
which is so funny to me that, like, originally he probably took her back so she could answer some questions.
Yeah.
And then when she starts fucking around and, like, pretending to, like, wanting to have, like, sex with him, she's like, okay, you know what? You're stupid.
You're done.
You're done. I'm not fucking with you anymore. Just get out.
Yeah.
And then she just walks down outside the cold.
She calls Owen. And
I need more drugs.
Like, hey, I need more blue. I need more blue Kool-Aid.
And then it pans. It's an overhead shot of her wandering through the alley.
Right. And we have Lupino that's on the roof
with a machete,
which is freaking bizarre. But like, she starts seeing the angels or whatever, and because we just see the shadows, and then all of a sudden they attack her, and I'm like, okay, can he control the angels, or like what's going on with that?
I think what happened was while she was having an episode,
because like he can see them too, is the thing. And so I was like, okay, can he control them? And he just goes like, okay, attack them something.
It's not very clear, because at first I was thinking, like, in hindsight, oh, maybe he just attacked her while she was having an hallucination. But then later in the film, we see another guy who's under the same effects of the drug. And it looks like now that I think about it, I think that is what happened. That he Lupino like actually killed her and then cut his body up and made it look like she was like lacerated by angels.
Right.
And the guy that got pulled out of the building by an angel probably just fell backwards.
Maybe.
Or he was just holding on really, really hard to the edges of the building, and then he let go.
Maybe.
But it looked like it was like pulling some. The angels aren't real.
Well, yeah.
Like the angels that are created by the drug are not. They're never implied to be like real angels.
Right.
They're just
because like even towards the end of the movie, like of course Max sees them because he takes the drug too.
Spoilers.
And, but like he sees them, and then it's like he starts freaking out.
Like this is a crazy drug.
It is,
by the way. It's like to go down like it gets explained later in the film at what this drug does, but essentially it's like a combat enhancment.
Yeah.
For soldiers.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what the drug was initially intended for.
But it doesn't work. It only works on
only worked on 1% of the soldiers.
Yeah, and then the ones that it doesn't work on, instead of becoming invincible, which by the way is bullshit because Lupino dies in one shot. Spoilers.
Right. He's not invincible.
Which was very super anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But like if you're not one of the part of the 1%, you get super duper addicted to it, and then you start having hallucinations. So hallucinations and like addiction basically.
Right. So it just becomes another drug.
Right. But like to the point where you're straight up following the people who make the drug home just to get some is like highly addictive.
Oh yeah.
So, crazy drug for a pharmaceutical company to make.
Yeah, and then we'll speed run through this part real quick because the next day Max goes back to the precinct, and then his old partner like shows up, wants him to come in the car, and then take him to the crime scene and to see Natasha's like severed body.
Yeah.
And he goes like, "Oh, the only reason why that I brought you here is because that your wallet is here." And
so, because I'm your friend, I'm your old partner.
Yeah.
Which we find out.
Right.
I wanted to tell you this first before some CSI found it and they implicate you.
Yeah. And then they go to this bar. They talk about how he essentially gave up on his wife's case to find the killer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Max pretty much like later, because I'm trying to remember specifically what happens, but it doesn't matter. But later on, he actually starts putting two and two together of where her tattoo matches one of the guys that died in like that
Max Payne's
killed,
house.
Yeah, that killed his wife.
Yeah.
And so he calls Max and he goes like, "Hey, like I found something, like, you know, I'm going to head to your apartment." And he's there and he reads his voice, or not reads, but he listens to his voicemail, and he just goes like, "Wait, he's not here." So then he goes to his house and he finds out that he's dead, and some guy comes in and starts beating the shit out of him. And then next thing we know, Max wakes up in the hospital and BB's there.
And but like and this scene where he gets beat up in his own apartment, by the way, is kind of cool because you get to see flashes of red whenever he gets hit. So it's like he's taking damage.
Right.
So
I was like, okay, well, that's pretty cool.
And then eventually he gets up on his back and he shoots him with his ankle holster, which I thought was also cool.
Right. And then like the other thing too is like he because he has bandages at the hospital on his hands because he cut himself with the glass.
Yeah, he was
on the ground.
He was crawling on broken glass. So
and my biggest thing too is like when BB like tells him like, "Oh, like you're at Mercy Hospital, like you were like you came in pretty badly." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like we just watched him basically get the shit beat out of him, and there's not even a scratch on him except for his hand being bandaged because of where he cut himself on the glass on the floor. That's it.
Maybe it's all bruises underneath the hospital robes.
I don't believe it. No, because like he got knocked out because literally he got kicked in the face.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way that nothing on his face is there. So he doesn't have any scratches.
Yeah, there's
bruises,
a little bit of that. It's because like
nothing.
that happens to BB too.
Yeah.
As well. So BB, to explain real quickly, is used to be the partner of Max's dad.
Yeah.
So, and he now works for security at
he's like the head of security
at Aesir Pharmaceuticals,
which his wife used to work at.
For all of you God of War fans out there, specifically the PlayStation one, again, our alarm bells.
Is there any other God of War?
Well, I'm talking about the PlayStation 4 one.
Well, yeah, like God of War 2014.
Whatever it's called. Again, you see Aesir and you're, alarm bells are going off again. I literally paused the movie because I'm like, what does Aesir mean again? That sounds familiar.
Yeah. And
it's literally like Norse gods. I was like, oh, okay.
That's the reason why that the drug is called Valkyrie.
Yeah, again, so. But at this point, I only watched this movie one time through, so I didn't get a chance to pause and look at what was on the vial, so I was just like, okay, what does this drug do? And then I saw Aesir, and I'm like, oh okay.
Yeah.
And because, like, Max goes to
the funeral.
The funeral for his partner, basically, and then his wife slaps him and stuff
for
like that.
his condolences and stuff and respect. And she was just like, "Oh, you couldn't have said one word to him," and blah blah blah. Like she's blaming him that it's his fault
because Max got all pissed when Alex wanted to just have a beer with him and talk about what was going on, and Max just left.
Yeah.
And Alex went back to his office to look through stuff, and Max just sort of blew him off. So,
well, like he was looking through the file of her.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, then we have Max go through the alleyway, and then Mila Kunis gets the jump on him because he's walking down the street and he notices like the Russian guys that were with Mila Kunis earlier, and they. Because I had the subtitles on and it said like speaks Russian and then Max Payne. I'm like, I didn't hear them say Max Payne.
Yeah.
So, but maybe they sent it faintly, and then he walks down the alleyway and then he's pulling out his gun just in case they were following him.
Yeah.
And then Mila Kunis just goes like with her
MP5K
and just goes like drop it, and she's like starting to question him. Well, then like she makes him like drop to his knees. and holds him up at gunpoint. But she starts to like hit him with like this stick or something. And so I was like, okay, was he
It's a
supposed to?
baton.
Yeah. And so I'm like, was he supposed to get knocked out after the first hit? Because like it seemed like that he was going to get knocked out because like she ended her sentence there. Because like she's talking to him and hits him, and then it seemed like that he was going to get knocked out, but then he's still like awake. And so she
was just trying to hit him because she was just like,
maybe, but I feel like that she would have hit him with enough force to actually knock him out.
So
But-
the reason that that she's doing this in the first place is because the police show, like, obviously the police told her that her sister was dead.
Yeah.
And then showed her a piece of evidence that, oh yeah, Max Payne's wall was at the scene of the crime.
Right.
So,
And the fact that the last call that she made was to Owen Green.
yeah.
That was it. And yeah, because like before that, like he goes to his office to go and look at the evidence. And then
Yeah.
that's why he we see him walking down the street and stuff, and he goes like, well, I know that we're both looking after the same guy, which is Owen Green.
Yeah, the same person who killed your sister killed my wife.
Yeah. And so they go to see Owen Green at this shitty apartment building.
Like,
And
abandoned apartment complex.
He's like screaming
Like,
because he's tripping out.
Yeah.
And Max is just trying to talk to him of going like, hey, like what happened to Natasha, like, you know, blah blah blah,
He's
whatever.
like, the angels are coming.
Yeah. And then like I don't know why he had this giant hole in his wall that's made like because it's a brick wall. I'm like, how did that happen, first of all? And second of all, like, why is there just this giant hole in the wall?
I mean, it's just an abandoned building, I guess. He's probably just homeless.
Well, even then, like, there's electricity still in there. Usually abandoned buildings don't have electricity. So,
I don't know. Maybe just it's New York. So.
well, yeah, that's true. But yeah, so he
I
gets
do
over to
believe
the
most
ledge.
of this game takes place in, like, East Harlem.
I think so.
So,
Maybe.
I mean, it's East Harlem. So
Right.
I believe it.
Yeah. But yeah, and then he gets really close to the edge, and then like it's a really cool shot that this happens because like he's holding on to the edges,
And his
then
fingernails are,
there's,
like, breaking, like,
yeah.
bloody.
And then there's a angel that grabs him and then pulls him out, and I'm like, okay, that's a really cool shot.
Yeah, it's like,
So-
these angels are, like, dark, scary angels. They're not,
Yeah.
like...
Well, I just assume that they're angels because
yeah.
because later on, they go to a tattoo shop and they ask the tattoo guy of going like, hey, what does this tattoo mean? And then he goes like, oh, that's a
Valkyrie.
That's a
soldier's
symbol.
angel.
That's a Norse Valkyrie. Vikings used to wear them for protection.
Yeah, and he starts talking about how like people would tattoo themselves with this mark to protect them from Valkyries.
Well,
or to
no,
have
it's
Valkyries on their side or something.
yeah, it's to ensure that Valkyries would take them to Valhalla, basically.
Yeah, and
Also-
like you have to die in battle in order to get to Valhalla. You can't just die in your sleep, otherwise you go to hell. So
Yeah. Also, like, I don't remember what it was, but Max Payne takes Mila Kunis to this arms dealer,
yeah,
and that's where he lets him know, like, oh yeah, your boy is named Lupino,
yeah,
and he's at Club Ragnarok. I'm like, are you kidding me?
right. And it's R.A. and then it's like
Like the original name of
think
the
it's
bar
Rag,
is called like
not Rock.
Yeah, it's like the original name of the bar
like
is like
broken up.
Magnus and Brock, but the letters on the sign are all back, so it's Ragnarok, and it's
Yeah.
like it's just so on the nose.
It is.
Valkyrie, Aesir, Ragnarok, like
Yeah.
Someone really got into like Norse mythology with this one, and literally this the whole like lore.
Because I
dump
don't even think that
from the tattoo
this
artist
stuff is in the game even.
I don't.
So,
I'd have no idea. So, but
Yeah.
like, as much as as it is kind of like, kind of gimmicky, I do think the angels look really cool.
yeah,
I am a big fan of the design of the angels. They're cool.
yeah.
So yeah, Owen Green gets like pulled out of the building and lands onto a car and dies. So like that's another guy that like has been connected to Max Payne.
Right.
That is just now dead. So
Yeah.
it's just looking very, very suspicious. And I believe it's at this point where... Is it at this point where... Oh, yeah. No, it was earlier when you said he went back to his office, and then he's walking past all the detectives.
Yeah, they're
and
like,
just
he's a cop killer.
They're just talking shit, and then they're like, "Where do you think you're going, Max?"
Yeah, he goes like he starts talking like the main cop guy, whoever the hell he is. Like he goes like, "Oh yeah, like your dead partner's office is back there. Where do you think you're going?" It's like to his office. What are you talking about? He says something to that effect or whatever.
And like this is at the point where Ludacris gets on his case.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize Ludacris. I have no idea what Ludacris looks like.
Yeah, because after he leaves the funeral at their house, Ludacris brings him in to question him about like his connection with the murder with Natasha, as well as like his partner dying.
And it's
because
like,
that's the reason why that he's there.
He's like, I'm gonna pin you down for this murder. It's like, okay, cool. You're gonna find my blood at that scene too. So
Yeah.
good luck with that.
Right.
Because like then Ludacris gets on like BB's case. Like you gotta help me out here. Like
Right. He goes like, oh,
if
you're his friend, get him to talk.
Yeah. So
but then we have Chris O'Donnell coming in, and
John Colvin.
yeah, Jason Colvin.
Yeah. Okay.
And like my biggest thing is that like because Max starts piecing stuff together, and he goes to his office.
Yeah.
And because when he was looking through the files, he found out that like, oh, like this is the tattoo, and like that's why they start questioning about the tattoo and stuff.
Protection from what?
Huh?
What do you mean, huh? You said people get the tattoo as protection. What are they afraid of?
And then he finds out that all of his wife's work is missing.
Yeah.
So he asks BB because he's had security. Okay, who was my wife's old supervisor? And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to tell you. It's like, is he still working at the company? It's like, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, please tell me.
He was like,
This
all right,
guy-
his name's Jason.
His name is Jason. So he goes to Aesir and goes to his office.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, there's somebody in your office, sir.
Yeah.
So
And he's a detective, and like he starts questioning him about like what his wife was working on. He goes like, I don't know. Like that was so long ago. I don't know. And
locks the door of the office and
Yep.
then just starts interrogating him like
starts beating the shit out of him too.
Yeah.
Which again, he only has like a little bit of a bloody nose. Like Max punches the shit out of him.
it is also PG-13, so they can't go like super heavy into
Well,
like
I've seen like other PG-13 movies where
Yeah,
they
but this is
literally show
2008.
more. So, but
this is 2008.
I guess. But like I just love the fact that Max just keeps asking him questions. He just goes like, I don't know. And he goes like, what are you talking about? Like not even just that. He just goes like, well, what project was she working on? It's like, oh, she was working on this project. She was working on this project? Like, what do you mean by that? And it's all like, what are you talking about? Like he's giving you information. Like, what do you mean?
He's just messing with him at this point. He's just trying to
Yeah.
scare him at this point.
Pretty much.
Which is, it's also funny because right before Jason Max goes to meet Jason, he gets to on the street in the rain with the CEO
Yeah.
of Aesir,
And
and she hands him a folder of the guy that Max is looking for.
Yeah.
And Jason just so happens to walk into the office with the folder of all the evidence that Max needs to figure out what's going on.
It's coincidence, like whatever. But yeah, then
very, very convenient.
yeah, because then he goes like, in the envelope, like there's all the information that you need right there, but you need to get me out of this building right now.
Because meanwhile, his secretary is calling security, and they're
Yeah.
like, and not just any security, but like
Their own security stuff.
But like, it looks like a SWAT team of like guys in full body armor and like rifles.
Yeah, because then they show up, and then they're about to leave, and then Jason immediately gets shot, and because like then
Like, ah, dang it.
yeah, and Max just starts opening fire. They're like, open fire, like officer down or whatever.
Yeah, because he shoots back.
yeah, and in self-defense.
It's a really cool scene of just like,
Yeah.
like how does he dodge that many bullets?
Right.
I know it's Max Payne, but like,
Right. And like there's no bullet time, because throughout the games like you could do bullet time, so you slow down time in order to
Yeah.
like shoot a bunch of bad guys. But there's no really bullet time. It only happens like I guess 3 times throughout this movie.
yeah, but all the 3 times that happens, it is really cool.
It is. Cuz Yeah, because then he's hiding behind cover. They keep shooting him. He goes to run for the envelope, and then he goes to run out of the office area, and he gets shot in the shoulder. And he actually takes out the guy that's like running on the desks too.
Yeah.
Shoots him in the leg, and I'm like, how is he not reloaded yet? Like, he reloads once. I'm like, there's no way that he keeps blind firing at these officers or the security company or whoever.
Many bullets.
Yeah, and I'm like, he doesn't reload one time throughout this whole shootout.
Meanwhile,
and he shoots out the security like pad that's on the door, and then he runs through it, and then he barricades it down.
Yeah.
And Ludacris shows up.
And he's in the stairwell. I was like, "Who's responding to the shots fired at Acer?" Like,
yeah, they're like, "We don't have a unit out there." He goes
like,
"Do you want to have a unit out there?" And he goes like, "Fuck yeah!"
Would you like to report to Harrison? Like, fuck yeah, I want to.
Yeah, and so like they hold each other up at gunpoint, like in this back room, and they blow a hole through the door, like the SWAT team.
Yeah,
and then he runs away, and so they're like, where is he? And one of the guy goes like, I can't see anything. I'm like, yeah, I fucking wonder why.
He's gone.
And then Ludacris goes like,
great job, guys.
Boys. Good job. Everybody's going to get a medal for this. You let him get away. And he goes like, damn it.
He doesn't suspect that there's a little bit of corruption going on.
Yeah.
Great job, boys. You see what you did? You let him get away. Relax, motherfucking NYPD. Yeah, good job. Everybody's going to get a medal for this. Great.
But like, yeah, I thought that scene was great. Personally, yeah. I thought that whole sequence of him being at like Acer was like pretty cool.
Yeah, and so he goes to the warehouse. He finds out that like there's a bunch of stuff happening at this warehouse where the drug is being manufactured.
Yeah,
and there's just a bunch of I don't know. Yeah, it's like security guys for Ragnarok or something like that, because he knocks out the guy at the front to get in, and then he just like takes out a bunch of guys with a shotgun.
Yeah, this is I kind of like this.
I did like this warehouse scene where he just like takes out a bunch of guys with
just completely
shotgun.
Clears house.
Yeah,
and then he gets to a point where he sneaks into a room, and then two guys come in. They shoot up the place.
Yeah,
which is like, why would you do
hides. That? Yeah,
why would you open fire in a room?
They
full
immediately
of, like,
open the door,
chemicals?
And then they both like fan the whole warehouse.
Like, can you imagine
if
something exploded in that warehouse? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
and then he takes them out, and then there's a guy up on a catwalk, and then he's facing away from him.
Yeah,
so he starts to fire shots.
This is where the bullet time gets in, because he falls
backwards.
Yeah,
and holds the shotgun upside down, and then blind fires the guy that's up on the catwalk.
Right.
It's so.
And then
cool.
he manages to get him, like somehow, some way. So.
Yeah.
But it's like really cool, and then we'll cut to basically almost towards the end of the movie, because he tracks down Lupino, being the guy that killed his wife,
and then they have.
I think it's actually like in the same warehouse, because he goes upstairs and he's trying to look for him, and then Lupino gets the drop on him.
Just shows up. Yeah, so they have a little bit of a tussle there.
Yeah, then BB shows up and then just shoots him. Oh, well, before that, like, Lupino's on the roof. He takes the Valkyrie shot.
So he's drugged up, and he's the one guy that Valkyrie worked on, by the way. And it's kind of funny that, like...
Because he goes back to, like... Because he breaks into Mila Kunis's, like, office warehouse
thing.
And
he's watching the videotape of him, which Lupino. I think is so funny, because he's all... Yeah. He's all happy, smiling. He's like, "How would you say that that Valkyrie has affected your?" I feel just so much better. And it's like, it feels like I've got an angel behind me. Like,
right, I got an angel watching.
Like, did you notice any side effects? Like, how would you rate this? 1 out of 10.
It's all like, then, what? But now he's got face tattoos.
Face tattoos. I was about to say
he's got wings tattooed on his
machete.
back.
Like, where did he get that machete?
Yeah.
So like, Lupino is on top of Max with like holding a shotgun, by the way, like pressing down with his machete, which I thought was cool. And then he just gets shot
Right.
Like, I thought this drug was supposed to make him
through
invincible.
the midsection, pretty much.
Like, and this is where the movie starts to fall apart.
Yes.
Because BB comes in and saves him, basically.
Yep. And then they walk outside through the alley, and then BB just, like, has his, like, right-hand man, basically, of the company, like, knock him out. And then they handcuff him, and then they take him to the pier, where now we're back at the beginning because he sticks vials of Valkyrie in Max's pocket.
And he's trying to, like, I never understood what BB's motive was.
Yeah, it didn't really make any sense because BB is telling him, like, yeah, I'm the one that killed your wife and son. It's like,
what?
Why? And it's because that, like, later on we find out it's because that she was poking her nose in where it didn't belong, basically.
Yeah, but, like, why did you have to be the one to kill her, though?
Right.
It's at this point where BB becomes the twist villain.
Yeah.
That the movie just falls apart.
Because, like, he was in charge of the operation of Valkyrie, and then the CEO, the woman CEO, is also a part of this as well.
Yeah, Aesir's in on the whole thing. Spoiler, like shocker. Again, you could have probably figured that out as soon as you saw the name of the drug,
right,
as well as the name of the company. It's like, oh, that's connected. Like you saw that coming from a mile away. But like what I didn't see, I was genuinely shocked that they decided to make the BB guy who is the partner of your father, who is now dead.
Yeah,
he's now the twist villain, and now you gotta kill him. It's like, what?
Right.
Like you couldn't. Why can't it just be? I thought it would have been fine just making Lupino the guy who did it, and then Max Payne gets his revenge.
Yeah.
But no, we got like, because then it makes even more sense. Like, how did BB jump out of the window?
Right.
Because when like Max Payne, like the whole scene of we explain it, is that 3 guys broke into his house, right?
Yeah, and he kills 2 of them.
He kills 2 of them. He shoots them.
One jumps out the window.
And we didn't get to see who it was. And then, like you see the flashback of oh, I was there. And it was real, like,
I was the one that killed
you see
your
the
wife and
reflection
son.
of him in the little baby mirrors. And it's like, are you kidding me?
What?
Like, you're telling me this guy jumped out the window and
this
out
old man
out of the 2nd floor?
Right.
Like, it was only 3 years ago, right? I
Right.
don't believe that maybe if it was like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, but 3 years ago?
Right.
Like,
also,
he's older than you are, dude.
I know. Also, the thing about it, too, is, like, when he goes back to his house at some point, everything is still there. The house hasn't been sold. Like, all of his stuff is still there.
All the baby
like,
stuff is...
Yeah, all the baby stuff. It's
by
all
the
like,
way,
I was all like, has this happened, like, weeks ago? Or, like, how long did this murder happen?
The room just
like,
says that has the word baby on the door.
Yeah, it just says baby. So his son doesn't even have a name.
We don't even know who the baby is.
He's probably like, and he looked like a 1-year-old or 2-year-old.
I just found it
wasn't a newborn.
I just found it absolutely ridiculous that BB is now the main antagonist of the film after Lupino dies in one shot to the chest. Like, are you serious? All that build up. Oh, he's invincible. Now he's just dead. So
yeah, I just found it to be pretty odd that, like, BB turns out to be the big bad guy throughout the whole rest of the movie because he's just a normal guy. There's nothing special about him. But
that's why it was so ridiculous that all of a sudden now he's the twist villain. He's the main threat. It's like, who is this guy?
And like they were gonna pin the whole thing on Max of him doing everything because he had the Valkyrie in his pocket and like, oh yeah, you're just another junkie that went loose and started just killing everybody and whatever.
And it's like Max Payne just sort of stands there and like lets this happen.
Wouldn't they test his blood and just be like, he didn't have anything in his system?
I don't know.
The hell?
It's a very weird plan.
It is. And
all things
like
considered.
And they were also gonna shoot him. I'm like, he has the handcuffs on. They would have known that you was murdered. Like,
yeah,
unless they would take the handcuffs off afterwards.
How is he going to shoot himself in the head, then handcuff himself?
Right. And like, especially if it happens in the back of the head. Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
You can't murder yourself by shooting yourself in the back of the head.
Like, and again, it's just overkill as well because he's already jumping into freezing cold water.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, like, he jumps in and then he like pulls himself out. How does he not drown?
Well, he was going to drown.
And B, how does he not die of hypothermia? Which is what I was thinking initially.
Well, here's a couple of things, right? So, like, he he breaks away from them, right, by knocking them to the ground, right, fighting back. He jumps
punches
into
him
the
in the
river.
nose,
Yeah, he jumps into the river. They shoot at him. Of course, they all miss, and they're like, "Well, fuck it. Like the river will take him because like it's really cold and it's icy and whatever." And then so they leave, and then he starts swimming, and then he stops swimming because he's getting tired.
Starting to drown.
And then he's starting to drown now. And the monologue that he has in the beginning doesn't happen anymore because it's his inner monologue. This doesn't happen anymore. Now he's just drowning in the river, and we just see a bunch of dead bodies around, which never really was emphasized either.
Yeah.
Except for in these two specific scenes of the beginning and this part. And then he has like this part where he goes to see his wife, and his wife just tells him, "Not now, Max. Like this isn't your time," basically.
And then he wakes up.
And then he wakes up and he swims again, and now he's like getting back onto like the same pier, which is super bizarre.
And again, it's at this point where I'm like, how like okay, he must like how is he gonna get out of this? He's gonna like die of hypothermia.
So here's why he doesn't die of hypothermia. Why he does this in the first place makes no sense. He remembers that he has the vials of Valkyrie that BB gave him, and so he takes it. It's a drug. Why are you gonna take this drug?
He takes both vials and just pops them.
He pops them both of them, not once, not one, but two of them.
And then his skin starts steaming, and he gets like
he doesn't know the effects of Valkyrie, except for the fact like 1% of people that take this become like superhuman, basically.
So basically, he just got
takes a
super lucky
gamble.
that the vials he didn't turn him into like
a junkie, basically, like to where he could just see the angels immediately.
So it magically brings him back after swimming for who knows how long in freezing cold water.
And then here's another couple things that I noted too. Was like one, he basically turns orange because his skin becomes like super like energized somehow. So like there's the steam rising off of him, and then he's got like this blue goatee because of the vials that he took. And I'm like, there's no way that it just like blew your skin like that.
Face very pale, rest of body like orange.
Yeah, and I'm like, because he's got this blue goatee on his chin, and I'm like, as far as I'm aware, I didn't see you miss a drop of that on your face. Like at all, it all went in your mouth. So how did you end up with a blue goatee?
Maybe he's just blue because of the cold water.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then his teeth should have been blue, or at least a hint of blue. And like when he screamed, his tongue should have also been blue. Like all of this doesn't make any sense.
So now Max Payne is a drug addict.
Yeah. And so because I had all that bunch of stuff, and then like now after taking the drug, he could see the angels now, or the Valkyries, or whoever the fuck they are.
He starts hallucinating.
Yeah, and he so he goes to the office, and he is in the garage, and he starts doing a big shootout, because originally when they all leave, BB, his head of security, and a bunch of his guys, like they don't know what's going on, so they leave. And
they go back to Acer. They want to go like destroy evidence, basically.
Yeah, so they went to go destroy evidence, and then they go to leave. They go to the garage, and I don't know, like a driver or something, because it looked like he was wearing like a driver outfit.
Yeah.
Like valet or something like that. And so like he falls out of this car, and the head of security guy goes like, "Oh, Max is here," and he goes like, "That's bullshit because he's supposed to be dead."
That is bullshit.
And then he comes running up with two like machine guns, starts shooting at all of them, and then they run into the freaking elevator, and then Max just sees them as these angels, and I'm like, that's not how that works. Like you don't just see random people being these angels.
Does he see them as angels?
Yeah. Because when the garage door closes, they're huddled, like looking through the crack in the door as it's closing, and he sees them as angels.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I'm just like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, he doesn't, like, as far as I'm aware, right? The angels show up, so they're hallucinating the angels. They don't see the angels as other people. But you could infer that because the junkie in the beginning does say like, oh, like he had golden wings, they weren't black.
Yeah,
or something
so
like that.
I
don't know. It's weird, but like he has this giant shootout with all these guys in the office and stuff like that.
So he's like roided up going into this.
Yeah, and so especially where it's just a close up of just his eyes, you see his nose like flared upwards, like how Mark Wahlberg's nose usually goes when he's super pissed off. Like I thought that was really funny because you see his brain just like that, and so after the huge shootout, like he gets shot, and
he gets
so
shot
like
a bunch.
he does, like, but he gets a shotgun blast to the shoulder. And apparently it goes through because he's also got it on the same shoulder in the back.
Yeah.
I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not how a shotgun
like he's not
shell
Wolverine
works.
because he
He's
took
not.
like this drug. It's not what it does.
Yeah.
Like,
So, but
he's taking shots like the Terminator.
Right. And so like he kneels down and he just starts screaming his head off. And this is the thing I mentioned earlier was like the ceiling pretty much like disintegrates and gets eaten up, and then all of a sudden now we have like these clouds that are above that are all orange to where it's supposed to look like it's hell.
Yeah.
And then there's all these angels flying around him and stuff.
Like they're circling
and then
him.
they're not attacking him, they're not doing anything, they're just circling him. They're circling in on him. And then he just starts screaming. There's a guy that comes running up, and he's about to kill him. And then Mila Kunis shows up out of nowhere, just kills him. And
Like,
she runs up to him and goes like, Max, you got to get up. Like, you got to finish this. And so she gets shot up. She runs to the elevator. And it looks like that she got shot. I don't know, because it seems like that she got shot in the shoulder or something.
I think that's like the last time we see her, too, except
it is.
like until the post-credits scene.
Yeah. And so... she's just like miraculously left, and so Max shoulder tackles into BB's office and just starts shooting around and just like BB and starts shooting balls. And I'm like, why are you shooting around? Like he wouldn't just be standing there just going like, oh yeah, like thank you for coming to my office.
Like you turn this character with sort of a noble purpose into now he's just on drugs.
Yeah. Now he's on drugs. He's tripping out. He's seeing these angels and stuff. And so like he goes up to this window and he's still like, you know, the hellscape that's around him that he can see. Valkyrie comes up, like goes to attack him, but he can't because there's a window in the way.
Right.
And so he stops.
This is not the last time we see Mila Kunis, because like Mila Kunis goes down to stop the guy who's about to blow up one of the floors.
Yeah, the head of security guy.
And it doesn't work. He still blows up the floor, and that what breaks apart the window, and that's what sort of breaks him out of the hallucination.
Yeah, and because like then the glass shatters and stuff that's on the windows. And
meanwhile, BB is on the roof trying to wait for a helicopter.
Yeah, because he keeps calling the CEO woman.
It's like, please, I need a helicopter. Please.
He's like, he's after me. He's coming to get me. Please,
like, what do you want
Mom,
me to do?
I need a ride. She's just like, Mom, come pick me up.
I'm scared.
Mom, I'm scared. I don't want to be here anymore. They keep picking on me. I need a lift.
And then she's like, who's this?
Yeah, new phone. Who this? Because originally she answers, and he just keeps calling her. And she's all like, shut the fuck up. I don't care. So she doesn't pick up. And
then Max eventually makes his way up to the roof.
Yeah, and then immediately gets shot. And then just like, again, he doesn't stop.
Just shrugs it off.
And again, this drug does not make you invincible, apparently, because that's what it's apparently supposed to do. But he gets shot again, and BB runs out of bullets, throws the gun to the side, and just goes like, hey, do you want to hear my confession? Like, and hey, let's go get a beer about this, and let's talk about this. And then BB just like shoots him. Or not,
Max shoots BB. Slow-mo shot. One
again,
shot,
bullet time again. And like, here's the thing that I didn't understand was like, he wasn't standing there for that long with the gun raised to shoot him, because when it slows down time and you see the gun, like it's a top-down view of the gun and it goes sideways, there's a lot of snow that's built up on these guns.
Just standing
he
there
must have been standing there for like a minute or two, just like waiting to shoot him.
Either that or it was snowing pretty hard.
It didn't seem like it was, honestly.
It was pretty thick
because
snow.
even from that far up high, it would have like moved it around and stuff. So, but Yeah, it was just kind of weird.
Max shoots BB. He goes to kneel down in front of one of the lights that's on the helipad.
Yeah,
and
then again, like he goes back to the room, and like now he's getting further into this dream of being with his wife and son, and his wife just goes like, "Here, do you want to hold him? Like, here's Dad." And like this is a part where I mentioned before was all like, "Oh, I don't believe in angels," but blah 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 blah. I didn't even bother writing it down because it was stupid. Because like it didn't go as far as like the "I don't believe in heaven, but I believe in pain" thing.
Yeah,
that one was like a few sentences. Also, we didn't do taglines, but it's just because we didn't have any taglines.
That's fine.
But
and then
the SWAT team comes, or then his wife just goes like, "Okay, well, it's not your time yet," and so like it now goes back to him just kneeling down on the helipad.
Oh yeah, it's SWAT plus the FBI because the detective called in the FBI.
Yeah, Ludacris calls in the FBI
after like,
and then that's why BB and his security are leaving in a hurry, is because he goes like, "Yeah, the FBI are on us now.
The FBI's here."
So which apparently I think that was the voice of Max Payne from the video games. So like the FBI guy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ludacris. That's what I read, I think.
Huh,
so
interesting.
I could be wrong. I don't know.
A little bit of trivia, if that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the end of Max Payne.
Yeah, and then we get the after credits scene where he goes back to the bar and then meets up with Mila Kunis.
They don't say anything.
They don't say anything. She shows him a file which he opens, and then it's just a picture of the CEO.
It's just a magazine.
It's just the magazine of the CEO standing there, and
she's winning. I guess she won an award or something.
Yeah, and so he knows that, like, oh yeah, I know who my actual enemy is.
And then it cuts to the movie's over.
Yeah. And it's supposed to be a sequel, but they never really kicked it off because like nobody cared about this movie.
Gotta love that. So, gotta love after credits sequel bait that doesn't go anywhere. Yep. Shout out Morbius.
Yeah, shout out to Morbius, which was supposed to set up the Sinister Six again, but doesn't.
But yeah, that's Max Payne.
Yep. So that is the end of Max Payne.
That went a lot faster than I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean we speed ran through it, so it's not too bad. But now is the point where we give our consensus on this being a rent, buy, or a skip. Hence the reason why this is called RBS in the first place. So what would you say your consensus is?
Honestly, I'd give this movie a rent.
I mean, it's all right. Like,
because we got in the car and you're just like, man, I can't wait to get to my consensus. It might shock you, and I'm like, I'm not really that shocked by your. Now I would be more shocked if you said it was a buy, but just because that you said it was a rent, I'm like,
no, but it's a high rent though.
It's almost a buy.
Listen, I was invested. I was locked into this movie. I like a lot of times when I was watching like Mortal Kombat, because we had to watch 2 movies for this podcast potentially.
Yeah, because like my friend JK, friend of the podcast, who has been on here before, and you guys know him from a few times, where I don't want him to be like the video game guy whenever we talk about a video game movie, but I know that he enjoys watching video game movies, like even if they're bad or if they're good. So he wanted to talk about Mortal Kombat, and like he's not here, so we're not talking about Mortal Kombat. At some point we will talk about Mortal Kombat, either the OG or one of the other ones. I'd rather talk about like the OG and then the remake, not the second one.
But in the event that he was going to show up, Devin told me to watch both movies, so I did.
Just in case.
I watched. Today we're recording this on Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
Because we both have plans tomorrow on Saturday, which is when we normally post the podcast. So I watched Mortal Kombat on Wednesday, and I watched Max Payne yesterday on Thursday.
I watched them both back to back. I took my notes from Mortal Kombat because I've already seen it so many times. But Max Payne I watched twice. Second time I took my notes for.
But I don't know. I was invested into the story and the mystery, what was going on in Max Payne.
Yeah.
A lot more than I was Mortal Kombat. Up until the twist.
Yeah.
So like
you're like, oh man, this is a really good movie, and then it's like, wait, the main guy dies. Wait, it's this old guy that's actually the bad guy behind everything.
Like, yeah,
this is a Scooby-Doo mystery. All of a sudden,
the movie just completely falls apart in the last quarter of it.
Yeah.
Like it just
like the last like 20 minutes.
It starts making no sense whatsoever, and like even the whole like drug that makes you hallucinate angels, and that they're implied to kill you because you're taking this drug is a little bit far fetched.
Yeah.
And maybe like that's where the low score of this movie comes in, because it's just so ridiculous. It's nothing like the actual Max Payne games.
Yeah.
I don't know. But at least for that first part, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it, but I mean obviously I'm not going to give it a buy, but like it was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. So that's where sort of my rating comes into, because after coming off of Doom. And just
this
how
is a masterpiece
boring movie that
compared to that movie.
Doom.
Yeah.
This movie is a masterpiece.
And it was only 3 years after.
Again, I thought the performances were really good. The cinematic, it was just it's just cinematic. A lot of good shots, a lot of good lighting, and like
interesting story.
Like I just liked some of the cuts that were in here. So I enjoyed watching it, but I wouldn't give it any higher than a Rent for me personally. All right, well, don't keep me in suspense.
All right, so for me, I'd say that it's a skip.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Literally the second,
I knew you were going to
literally the second time I was watching it, I was falling asleep halfway through this movie. Like the first time, I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like, and like I mentioned at the top of the show, was like, "Yeah, I remember watching this when I was younger and everything," and I didn't remember anything about this movie. All I knew from Max Payne is that, like, you know, he's a detective. He is trying to find the killer of his wife and kid, and that's about it. But the reason why I'm giving this a skip is, one, the acting isn't that great. So, two, being the fact of like the main twist is like, oh, BB was behind the whole thing. Like, he's the one that killed his wife and kid, and like, you know, these other two junkies that were with him and everything. Like, he orchestrated the whole plan. So it's just like, what? Like, that doesn't really make any sense. And then also given the fact that like he was going to straight up like make it look like it was a suicide, but have his guy shoot him from the back of the head. It's like, that's not how a suicide works. So I don't get that. But it's like the acting wasn't great. The story was okay up until like the point where BB is actually the main puppet master. So didn't make any sense to me. But I thought it was a good like crime thriller. But it's all like, he's not really arresting people. He doesn't really do much of anything throughout the course of this movie except for just like find out who tried to kill his wife and everything and whatever. So like it just made no sense to me. I would say that this is probably loosely based on the video game, because all I know that in the video game is, like I mentioned, like, you know, he's trying to find the killer and whatever, but I don't think it goes to this extent. Because I even looked up some stuff about like, oh, like, is there angels in the video game? No, not really. Like, none of this stuff that happens in this movie happens in the game, I don't think. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like the second watch, I was like falling asleep through when I was trying to take my notes. So I'm like, I don't care. So, and for all those reasons, I just say that it's a skip. Don't even waste your time. Honestly, like, if you're into crime thrillers, sure, I guess you can watch it. But again, the plot changes like towards 20 minutes before the movie's
It's
end.
such a wild twist.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into suggestive people here.
What do we do for suggestive people when one of us say one Rent and one of us say skip? Because I don't think we've had one like that.
Where it's divided? No, not for a while. But pretty much what we do is that we'll go into IMDb. We will look at a 1-10, sometimes both star review on the website, and then see what other people have to say. So, I have what somebody said back in 2009, so a year after this came out in theaters. They said it's gruesome. So this is a 1-star review. It's gruesome. I never thought it was possible to turn a story that great into such a terrible movie. First, wait, hold on. Okay. So here we go. 1-star review. Never played the game. Hated this film. Absolutely bored me. almost to the point of retreating the cinema. The $8.50 I paid. Oh, I thought it's. Sorry, my brain was confused for a second there. I thought it said $1. $8.50 I paid, however, was enough to keep me hoping for a turning point. Unfortunately, it never came, and I left the theater wishing I had never gone. I've never played the game, and I was confused as to what exactly was going on for the majority of the movie. See, that's the other thing, too, is like you have to have some connection from the video game to here, or you have to at least explain what the hell's going on. The plot gave birth to an excruciatingly overused B-rated storyline that involved some invention that is injected into soldiers to make them super strong, and then all goes wrong. Marky Mark's worst movie I've seen so far. I however, yet to see The Happening, so who knows? This was back in 2008, the same year this movie was released. So, but that was the only short one that I had because a lot of people had a lot to say about it. So, but I don't know. Do we want to talk about the 10-star review?
Sure, why not?
Okay, because this one's back from 2020, so only like 5 years ago. The game, the movie, it's awesome. I've been a fan of the Max Payne game and have played part 1 and 2 multiple times. When this movie came out, I was really excited. It was difficult to understand the movie at first because I was slightly different from the game, but after watching a few times, I understood the story. So in order to understand the story, you got to watch it a few times. You should be able to understand the story after the first time you watch it.
Come on, man. It's got a deep, like narrative.
That doesn't make any sense. What I absolutely love was the way this movie was filmed. Okay, yeah. I will give it that. The way the movie is filmed.
The cinematography is pretty good.
Yes, I will say that. The best thing about this movie is Mark Wahlberg. Is it, though? Is it? It was his best acting ever. However, it remains for some ever. I want to say ever. However, it remains for some reason underrated. For good reason.
Remains for some reason underrated.
Yeah,
but I mean, you could probably find a reason just by looking.
You could find a reason, that's for sure. But for me, it was Mark's best acting ever. I have loved this movie when it came out, and I love this movie today. Well, good on you, bud.
Sure,
glad that you really love this movie. It really doesn't make a lick of difference anyway. So, all right. But that's about it.
Anything else you want to talk about Max Payne?
I was going to ask you the same thing, but nope, I got nothing left.
Nope, I'm good.
Cool. So, with that being said, thank you everybody again so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, comment, share, and all that bunch of good stuff. And we'll see you guys next week for another video game that is for Jack's birthday. So,
great.
We'll see you guys next week with something new. So, bye.
All right, bye.